What's going on, guys? It's Ghosty here with a new commentary video. And just before we begin, if I sound different, it's because I'm sick and I feel like crap, but it's whatever. Uh, so yeah, I hope you guys like this video. Start. So today's topic that I want to talk about is how Gen Z is being ruined and affected by addictions. And what I mean by this is that we've normalized so many habits, like unhealthy habits, that are like we're ruining our minds or brains. We're like fixing it, and we're not even realizing that's bad for us. Or we do, but we just don't have what it takes nor the courage to change it. And the first example I want to talk about is gambling. I mean, one thing that we've seen a lot today, especially, is sports betting and apps like Kalshi where you can bet on like basically anything and everything that you want. It's kind of crazy. I've seen some crazy examples on Kalshi. But one thing that I can blame for this, like that started it all, in my opinion, are these little shits, which are fucking loot boxes in EA games and games like Apex or Battlefront 2. Like, don't get me wrong, Battlefront were great games, but when you had to spend money or just points to open a pack that doesn't ensure that you're gonna get what you want, and you don't have an option to buy what you want, you need to use the packs. It's just crazy. Like, I remember when I used to play Apex, like I never spent one dime on that game, but I would have to grind hours to get those little Apex packs to hope to get a heirloom. And I've opened probably over like 30 or 40 or 50 of these guys, never gotten a single heirloom. But I see little Billy over here who spends his mom's credit card, pays like $50 worth of points, and buys as many packs as he can with it. He just spams, opens them, still doesn't get it. So he goes, uses more money, buys more packs until he finally gets what he wants. And that's crazy because a lot of these people are young. Like, yeah, it's a T for T, like teen game. But even, or like, there's going to be younger people playing, and a teen's 13. So technically, like, that person's still young to be like being exposed to gambling. And I only like exposed like in a sense of like a movie or show. No, I mean like actually partaking in the gambling to get something that they want in the video game, like spending real money to get a virtual cosmetic that isn't gonna affect them whatsoever. Because that's the other thing. Like, I'm pretty sure like in Battlefront, yeah, there are stuff that you can get that does like help you out and stuff. But like in Apex, yeah, you spend money, you get those packs, and none of those things that you get are actually gonna help you in the game anyway. Like, it's just there to make you look cooler or look nicer. That's why I've never spent money in that game. Although like I have spent money in games like Fortnite. But one difference, like in Fort or COD, is that you spend your COD points and you buy what you're gonna get. Like, why you're getting your COD points. So you can buy a specific pack, and when you buy this pack, you're gonna get the pack 100%. There's no chance that, oh, you want the specific skin, but instead you get like a rainbow unicorn because it's like randomized and you're not like for sure gonna get what you want. And I get why they do it. It's all business, because when you buy a pack and you don't get what you want, you might be in dies to get the pack, like another pack again, to open it and hopefully get that and then do it again. But that's how you create a gambling addiction. And then during my middle school years is when sports betting came along. And even though like it might sound crazy, I really have friends in middle school that started betting on like sports with Hard Rock Bet and all these different like apps, because they'll use their mom's ID or their parents or their older siblings, and they'll used to be betting on their phones. Like in eighth grade, I'd be in class with them, and they'd be showing me like all the stuff that they're betting on, and it's just insane. Like, that's a way to create a gambling addiction at like 13 is crazy. And we just like saw it as normal. We just like didn't think much of it at the time because, yeah, it's gambling's whatever. You spend a little bit of money, no big deal. And at the start, it might be like, okay, because if you can control a habit and not turn into an unhealthy habit, then it's fine. But the issue is that since Gen Z, like a lot of us, we're so young, we start to like get easily addicted to things. And I mean, it's been shown now in studies. I'm pretty sure like 22% of Gen Z makes up for gambling in the US, and that's only the ones that are over 21, because I promise you that they do not have the statistics on the younger generations or betting like underage. And the difference, in my opinion, and the reason why we've been able to gamble so easily is thanks to social media. I mean, back then, you had like our grandparents or parents, great grandparents, like some of them couldn't even bet in their state because it was illegal. So they'll have to go to like Nevada, Las Vegas to bet. Maybe in Cuba if they're that old before like the whole Cuban thing happened. But yeah, like they had to go somewhere physical. They had to go to a casino to bet. They had to go and get out of their houses, get in their cars, drive to the casino, gamble there, and it was like a whole process. Like you had to do things to go and do that, and that even that already created a gambling addiction where like a lot of people were like throwing themselves off bridges over losing their stuff. But then now, all you need is an ID, a Cash App or an Apple Pay or whatever, or a credit card. Go on your phone, download Kalshi, download uh, Hard Rock Bet, download whichever one of these apps you want, and just gamble on like any sports or whatever you want to gamble on. And it's just so easy to do it. Like anybody can do it. And now I see why so many people are doing it because you can make money. Like it's just easy money. And well, easy in the sense that you don't really have to work for it. You just gotta be smart who you bet on. And even then, like you're not for sure gonna get money because you never know what happens. You can't like know for sure what's gonna happen. And so we normalize this, and now you have people with these crazy gambling addictions at a young age where a lot of them don't have jobs or they have like minimum wage 9 to 5s, part-time jobs, and they're losing a lot of their money. Like a lot of the money they can use to save up to either go to college or do whatever they want to do when they grow up, or spend it in like cool stuff with like clothing or a game that they might want to buy or something. No, they're instead wasting it on chances of getting more money that's not confirmed. So either you can make more money or you just lose what you already made and worked hard for. And it's crazy. And I've been to Vegas, and I've seen like the people are in casinos. So like the older generations, and it's just so sad. Like you see like a 70-year-old lady with like chain smoking, just repeatedly pressing a button till she wins. The other like a few months back, I was actually in Europe. I went on a trip there, and in this restaurant I went to, it was in Spain. It was a really nice like cheese restaurant. It's very famous. If you've ever been to Barcelona or no, it was Madrid. Sorry, if you've ever been to Madrid, you might have seen it. Wait, no, it was Barcelona. Wow, I'm tired. Sorry, but yeah, in Barcelona, and there's this homeless guy that walks in there. He has like €5 or something. Puts in the machine because in that little restaurant they had like a little gambling machine. In Spain, I saw a lot. They had like a lot of like little machines everywhere. And this dude's just clicking the button repeatedly and repeatedly and repeatedly, trying to win. And it's just crazy. Like this dude's homeless. You can tell by his clothing. And the homeless people there in Spain, they're not like here in the U.S. Like you see them going through garbage looking for food. It's actually really sad. And this guy who's homeless, he's just using the money that he's earned from like either begging or that he found on a casino, on a little slots machine at a restaurant. And that's just so ironic because it's a place where you can buy food, and instead he's using the money to gamble it all away. So I saw that, and I just thought about it and just like how sad we've gotten to as like a society where gambling, all these things have led us down these paths, and how my generation is becoming more used to gambling and normalizing it, and it's probably going to go down the same way that previous generations have had, but even worse, because now we do it so easily. We can do it from our phones, computers, anywhere in the world really, and we don't have to go to a casino to do it. Now the next topic I want to talk about is the nicotine addiction. I mean, I feel like that one's probably the biggest or the second biggest addiction that Gen Z has had. It's just how bad it's gone with like vapes and all these things. And I get it started like years ago with Juuls, but now like we have geek bars and all these things where you can buy like a bunch of different flavors, and it's just like you see these people in the bathrooms. I made a video about this specifically on my other channel, Ghosty Story Times, but you see people like in the bathrooms just like hitting it, just like sharing one little cart or like one little vape with like 20 other people. It's just so gross. And you see how they're made in the factories. You see how they have like one dude who has to try every single one of them. It's just so sad. And I don't get why like our government did that, where they get rid of jewels, which at least are American. Like, yeah, they're still really bad for you, but they're American made, more trustworthy. They have more regulations that we can like enforce on them. But instead, they ban them and allow a bunch of cheap Chinese cotton things come in, because that's all that vapes really are. They're just like burning cotton and with like nic, and it's still super bad for you because you're like inhaling micro metals and stuff, which like screw up your lungs. But at least with jewels, we had them in the U.S. or being made in America, and yeah, once our flavors came along, that made the addiction get worse. But now that we have all these different Chinese stuff coming in, it's just bad because it's cheaper to make, cheaper to sell, and people are just getting so many of them. They'll buy them in bulk and just sell them at school, sell them at anywhere they could. And then now we have the risk of like fake carts, which yeah, I get that they are different than vapes. They're still bad for you, but these have THC in them. And then we had a bunch of teens dying because of it, because they're being sold the Rick and Morty Galaxy cart or the Slurp Juice Fortnite cart, and they were smoking this crap that was being made by some like kid in his mom's garage, and they're selling these, and like people are like dead ass just dying over them, or getting like really really bad infections, or like medical issues over them. And now we have like people who are like addicted. I mean, obviously it's gonna be nicotine, so they're always gonna be addicted. But we have people who like look like drug addicts who need the cart with them at all times. If not, they're going insane. They need the geek bar, the vape, with them at all times. It's just so sad to see. I'm not gonna pretend like I'm like fully innocent. Like, I've tried vapes before. I've tried them twice in my life. One time was a blueberry one, and the second time was a grape one. Which both times, I will admit, it tastes good. Like, I see why people get addicted. It's not like a, oh, this thing's so disgusting, I can't understand how you like this. No, I get it. Like, a lot of people that I know say that when they first try, like, it burns them and they don't like it. No, I understand why they like it. It's refreshing. Out like the flavor. However, the feeling, that like feeling of like cold air going through your lungs, like, I felt like I could feel it killing me. And yeah, I know you can't like really feel bad. Like, you're not really gonna feel the bad side effects right away. But I felt like it was like just killing me. Like, I was just being pierced with this crap. And I see why people get addicted. Now, do I think that like feeling's worth getting addicted to? Absolutely not. It's not the best thing. Like, honestly, I feel better when I drink a soda. I can get a Fanta and I'll drink that, and it gives me a better feeling than hitting a geek bar like every 30 seconds, because I'm just like fiending for it. Which I seen people be like that. Like, I have friends that like vape and they're like chill about it. They do it every once in a while, or they have it, but they can put it down, not touch it for a few hours, and then they can get back to it. But I've seen other people that need to do it like every single second, like every minute. I've seen people in class just smoking because of how bad they are. Actually, this was my freshman year. I saw like this one kid just hitting it in the back of my Spanish class. I'm like, bro, how damn bad can you be that you have to be smoking in class? You dads can't wait to go to at least the bathroom. Like, and for the people in the bathroom, I think, yeah, you can't wait till you get home. But if you're as like that down bad that you gotta be smoking in the classroom, that just says a lot about like who, or like how badly you've gotten addicted to, how bad is your like addictive personality that you need to get addicted to this and vape it in the classroom. It's just sad. And I don't think it's going anywhere. Like, it's gonna get better because people like into today's world, and just in general, I think it's always been like this with smoking as well, with like cigarettes, is that they understand it's bad for them, but they don't like comprehend it, because you don't feel it immediately. It takes time. It takes time to start getting like the side effects and start feeling like shit and like start getting sick. It takes time. And by the time that they start getting these side effects, it's too late. You're screwed, because your health is like shit. You're not as athletically fit as you used to be, and it's just sad to see. But yeah, the final topic I want to talk about, which is one that it's awkward to talk about, but it's extremely true and relevant today, is like the gooning and like corn addiction. I don't know if I can say the word on YouTube, so I'm gonna try to avoid saying it. But you know exactly what I mean. With like OF creators and stuff, I've seen people spend money, like just spend actual money on OnlyFans. Which I gotta say, first of all, like dude, that stuff is free. Why are you spending money on that? Like I promise you, you could probably find that like online somewhere. But I've seen people who you can just tell by the way they are, how they act, that they haven't like they've been going through it, and it sucks because then after that you like rewire your brain, and I feel like this is honestly a worse addiction than like vaping and stuff because it screws up your entire like romantic life, right? So you find me a girl you're gonna do stuff with, and it just doesn't work because like you've rewired your brain to think or see other things that are attractive in a certain way, and it's just so like it's honestly just sad, way sadder than vaping. And I'm pretty sure there's been studies shown that like it completely messes up your brain habit, um and like the way that your brain works and processes things, especially during like intimate situations, and like your anxiety and your awkwardness and your mood and personality and your emotions. And I think the biggest issue is that you have these creators advertising to children. I mean, you go on TikTok with like I think it was like Baby Gronk, wherever his name was, like doing videos with OF stars. You have people like Jack Doherty, which I can make a whole video about that guy. I hate him. He's like the cringiest, corniest person you can ever see or like listen to. But like they're doing like these toxic, evil business tactics of exposing it to little children. And when your brain's developing and you like become a teen or start hitting puberty and you start like getting hormones and stuff and like feeling certain ways, the worst thing you can do is be exposed to this stuff where especially at that early of an age because your brain's still like growing, like learning stuff about itself, and now you're training it to think a certain way, and then that just goes up to your adulthood in your later teen years and stuff, and then it goes up to college, and then that's where like a lot of hookups happen and stuff like that, and you're gonna be screwed for it. I remember in sixth grade, I was in like physical education class. I think it was PE class. Yeah, it was definitely PE. And we just finished running. Like he'll make us run, our teacher, like for like 20 minutes at the start, and after that we just hang out at the playground because it was like a field and a playground. And I remember this kid that I knew, and he pulls out his phone. He's like, "Yo, look what I found." And he goes up on a certain black and orange website, which you definitely know what it is. You know what I'm talking about. And he starts watching videos. I'm like, bro, that's like I've by now. It's not the first time I got like exposed to it, and it wasn't like both times have been by accident, but this time like I already knew what it was. I'm like, dude, turn that off. And he's like, no, look at it. And then I was like, no, screw it. I just left because it was weird. It was like weird to see it with somebody else. And I remember my freshman year, so a few years later, I met this one dude, and we're at my house because I don't remember, I think he didn't have a ride or something, so I offered him to come to my house and wait there. And I'm like, he's looking at my desk and he sees my computer. He's like, "Yeah, you get into that as a joke?" And I'm like, "Nah, bro, I don't do that shit, or I don't watch that shit because it was actually talking about the other stuff." He's like, your girlfriend must be so happy." I'm like, dude, like honestly, like being single is one thing. Like doing it while being single, like as a healthy habit, not like getting addicted to it. Okay, it's not really good for. I wouldn't recommend it, but okay. But if you gotta be to the point where like you're in a relationship, you're in a happy relationship, or like in a relationship in general, and you're still like watching, you're still doing all this stuff, that's that shows how much of an addiction you've gotten. That you're like gooning while having a girlfriend. And I can't blame the person fully because it's how much they've been indoctrinated and pushed those things as normalizing it. Like you look it up on Google and stuff, and they're like, "Oh yeah, watching this stuff is not like that bad for you. You can look as long as it's healthy or whatever, blah blah blah." But yeah, you should watch it because it's like a stress reliever. And even recently, the one of the I think it was like a CEO or one of like the people in charge, like the higher ups at the P Hub website was talking about how they wanted kids to be exposed to it because like helps them find stuff about themselves. Which honestly, bro, that's the most PDF sounding thing that I've ever heard. But it's just gross, and that's what these people are doing. It's evil, or evil tactics completely, and they're trying to normalize it. They want to push it towards children because they know that's where they can make more money if they start them young, and then to their later years, well, or when they get money and they can start spending money on that stuff. Same with smoking, same with gambling, same with everything. It's just sad to see, super sad, but unfortunately it's very true. But yeah, guys, hope you like this commentary video. And make sure to like and subscribe. And thank you if you listen all the way till here. Leave a comment because it helps get this video out to more people. And I'm Ghosty, and I'm out. Peace.